Hi there, folks. I'm Emily.
And I'm Elk.
And this is Oh My Word Podcast, a podcast where we review books, movies, and TV shows so you know what you're getting into and don't devote a bunch of time to it and then just get frustrated.
We have a very special, this took years to develop, our pearl clutching rating systems. Years and years, and science! It took science! And
so much science.
So much science and so much psychology and just in-depthness, so muchness to create our pearl clutching rating system, which grades violence, language, and romance according to how many pearls we have to clutch. Well, we are led to clutch as we are experiencing the experience. So ratings go between a 0 and 4, 0 being the best. Aim for 0. Go for 0, my friends. And 4 is not good to have because that means there's too much of everything in it. You need to tone it down, people. That's kind of what it means.
Yeah. Sort of like when you have too many white blood cells in your body, it's not good. And that means you have cancer. Which is probably the best segue I've ever done.
That is a terrible segue.
Okay. It's a good segue, but it's a dark. No, it's good, but it's dark. But you have to admit that was good. Too much.
No, it was clunky and...
That was not clunky.
You know what? Everyone in the comments, let us know what you think about Emily's segue and let the listeners decide.
I'm not saying it wasn't insensitive, but it was clever, and I will stand by it. Because today we are talking about Zac Mia, which is a TV show on Netflix based on a book of the same name by A.J. Betts, and the story is about two kids who become friends in a cancer ward. So if you can't tell me too much is not a good segue then.
Yeah, and
then I'm done with you people.
This Zac and Mia, it's going to be like a lot of TV shows. Well, it's not going to, but it could be like a lot of TV shows that when they first come out, not that many people knew about them, and then Netflix picks it up and kind of gives it new life. Because the first season originally came out, I think, in 2017 or something like that, and then it's only now on Netflix. So if you haven't canceled Netflix, it's there now. And what's interesting is that they didn't take all the episodes because there's 2 seasons and there's 12 episodes per season, and they only took 6. If you look, there's only 6 episodes per season. So they have the opening, they have the finale. So what does that mean about TV series then? If you could only take 6 episodes and still get the full story, what's going on in those other 6 that are not relevant? Who curates that? I'm curious about who makes that decision, or only because I think that's what it is. Because when you look it up to see, on IMDb, whatever, it says that there's 24 episodes. But if you look at Netflix, there's only 12 because there's 6 and 6. So I'm not sure what the deal is.
Interesting.
Anyway,
so the ratings here, the violence is a 0 with the caveat that there's no violence, but it does talk about when you see kids who are sick and who die. So there are heavy themes, but it's not violence.
An amputation.
Right. But it's medical. It's not really violence.
Right.
Language is a 3, because that's how teen shows on Netflix go. We're lucky it's only a 3.
Yeah.
And romance is a 2.5, which actually, for a teen Netflix series, pretty good. Right? They make out, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And the thing about it also is that sometimes it only takes one scene to bump the ratings up, even if it's not... Because, the first... Basically, so you have Zac and Mia. Zac's been in, he's got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or something like that, and he's been in for 100 days in sort of isolation with only approved visitors in the hospital. And then Mia comes in next door. She's, I don't know what she has. She has
osteosarcoma, I think.
Oh, yes, because something that's in the bones, because it was got into her bones. So she's got that, and then, what's really nice is that Zac has a really strong family unit. He's got his twin sister, he's got an older brother, on his parents, and you see the whole family is together on this. The brother and the sister trade off sleeping in the room with him so that he's never alone. And he's like, guys, you don't always have to be here for me. I'm like, yes, we do. We always have to be it's not an option. Of course we have to be here. In the second season, you see that so lots of spoilers. Spoilers. The second season, he ends up going to a support group, and he sees that his sister's there, and the sister's always been going to the support group. for like cancer patients. It's like, why are you here? And he's like, because you were going through treatment. I was going through treatment too. Like, this wasn't like you're the one who had to suffer, but we were all there with you in everything that you went through. So it is nice to see a teen that actually has the strong family unit there. There is one episode where both the brother has it out with the dad and the sister has it out with the mom of like, pay more attention. You know, we're always here. How come you're not always here? And the parents are just like, we don't know how to handle this. Not because like, oh, we're negligent parents, but it's more like we don't know how to handle this. And then after that, everyone's like, they're always there and you see how much care and love they have. So Mia is totally different. She's like, my mom had her as a teenager. My mom never wanted to have me. I ruined my mom's life. And she doesn't even tell her mom, don't come for treatment. She doesn't even tell people she's going for treatment. She tells everyone she's going to like modeling school or something like that. So that's actually
okay.
Yeah.
Did I miss? I understand that she doesn't want her mom there and she doesn't have a good relationship, but who is she living with that she was able to? Her mom knows, right? Her mom's just
she just told her mom not to come to the hospital. She basically shut her mom out, which she says later they finally. Yeah, well, because you don't see it, and then there's one point where you have the one nurse. It's actually interesting because you could tell from the way they shot it. It's probably pretty low budget. There's very few characters, very few. Like you only ever see one nurse, which is fine, and so one nurse takes care of. Which my kid's on the ward. He's going to take care of both of them. But the nurse at one point hooks Mia up with like the hospital psychiatrist to, you know, you got to talk about what you're going through and figure out this thing with your mom and all that kind of stuff. So she tells us oh, I told my mom not to come, but whoever listens to their bratty daughter about this stuff anyways, like, because deep down she really does want her mom there, but she's not, because their relationship is so messed up, she's not going to say it. Whatever. Yeah. But it's interesting. Part of what's interesting about this whole thing is that you have, especially going back to, you know, Fault in Our Stars and Me and Earl and Dying Girl and all these different, there's so many books, and especially there was a long while we had a lot of them, teens getting sick or teens dying from cancer or things like that. This is a little bit different. There's a character who dies, but Zac and Mia, the two main ones, neither of them are dying. Well, they have the risk of dying, but neither of them are specifically dying. They have really hard stuff to go through, like things that no teen should have to go through, but it's more about them learning how to live with what they've been through. So part of it doesn't feel like it's the same sort of, I don't want to use the word like romanticization that they have in like The Fault in Our Stars. The first season is just about them sort of getting to know each other and get back past their, like, Zac is all about the numbers and the stats and he knows everything about cancer, and Mia's in total denial because she told everybody she was going modeling and she doesn't want anybody she knows. So they're both yelling at each other like, you became cancer, well, you're in denial about cancer, so you have to deal with it. And they're both yelling at each other that both of us, neither of them are dealing with it the right way, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you do have that, and then the second season is where they hook up and now they're boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. But it doesn't feel, there's something about the way that the show is done, and I don't know if it's just from the writing or from the actor, because also it's told from Zac's point of view, not from Mia's point of view. I think the book maybe switches off, but so it's different a little bit that you're getting the male point of view. And Zac, it just seems like he's just like a nice guy who's just trying to, you know, figure things out. You see him, he's always trying to, like, especially in the second season, he's always trying to like fix things and like make things better. And Mia's like, stop trying to fix everything. Like, let things happen. Like, you can't remake what was. Like, we have a new life that we're living now because of what we've been through. So it's almost like the show in general feels more like, instead of this like romanticization, it seems a little bit more like I don't know the word for it, like an encouragement or like a salute to kids who have gone through this and have to rebuild their lives from this. That's the right word for it. It almost feels like, you know, the show's like on the sidelines, like clapping the runners on sort of thing. Like, wow, these kids, like, they have to go through such tough things and look what they're dealing with. And especially the support group in the second season reveals a lot when Mia's, because she had her foot was amputated. So she's like, I don't want to be a burden on anyone. Which are like, oh God, no, like, why? Like, no, don't think that. Like, don't. But that's also from her. And it's kind of stuff that makes sense for kids to be saying. It's not stuff of like, I love the stars are your eyes and blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't, sure, you have the romance between them, but so much of it is more about learning how to live and deal. And like, we're going to build lives again and all that kind of stuff. So that's why it seems a little bit more like that, if any of that all made sense.
It did, actually.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, no, that was a great job.
Yeah. So that's why also, sometimes I'm not so into these teen things, and also, you know how we've spoken before about why is someone always sick and dying and da-da-da, but it didn't have that dark feel to it that a lot of the ones, it didn't feel dark.
No.
The way that a lot of the other ones do. It seemed a little bit more like encouraging and hopeful versus the ones that are dark. So maybe that's why also I kind of just clicked on it when I saw the episodes were only 12 minutes. I'm like, okay, what are they spouting for teens these days? And then I was like, oh, I don't have like a negative, like I wasn't getting a negative vibe from it that I'm sometimes like, why do they do this? I didn't necessarily like, sure, I don't really care about all the romance stuff and whatever, but it seemed like they did have a little thing. There was one where in the second season, he has his best friend and then she kind of throws out a comment about a girlfriend, but they don't really go into that. Like we don't have to see her girlfriend drama because it's not about the best friend. It's about these two, Zac and Mia, trying to build lives again.
No, I agree with you. There was something real, but not in a gritty way. Just there's something real and sort of touching and hopeful about it. It was kind of cute. Actually, I enjoyed it. Something sweet, something good about it.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
That's that, and I would try to segue to a closing, but apparently I just am lousy at segues. So
oh, now she's
why
getting
even
bothered.
try?
Oh, man. That's it. The rest of the afternoon is going to be about Emily trying to figure out segues now. So this is what I'm going to have to deal with. So I'm going to have to find a room to hide in the basement, of which there are plenty. So I don't have to deal. Oh, wait, let me try this one on you. Let me try this one on you.
I'm not even going to try. It's just not worth it. There is hope in this TV show, but there is no hope for me, apparently. But there's hope for you, listeners, in some way, I'm sure. See, I'm just no good at it. I'm just no good, so I'm not even going to try. But I'll say thank you for listening. We're so glad to have you here. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, oh yeah. Catch you next time. Cheers, people. Oh My Word podcast is brought to you by the pearl-clutching basement dwellers at Oh My Word. Follow us on Instagram for updates at Oh My Word Podcast, or like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. For full episode notes and detail, visit eltenenbaum.com. Music is by Tim Burke. See you next time.